Greetings, guys! Hope you are well, hope you are enjoying your weekend. Today is mostly going to consist of low-sec PvP. I did do a bit of null and rapid light ospreys, but it was kind of uninteresting to watch. So I've been trying to this dual web armor Harpy, and it's actually been doing quite well, and it's pretty cheap, man. This fits like less than 50 mil. I'm thinking about doing a guide on it, because a lot of people didn't expect this fit, which I'm surprised about, because you see this fit quite often in the Merlin, and it's just basically a carbon copy of that onto the Harpy. So I was surprised how people weren't completely expecting this, but yeah, it's quite rare to see an armor Harpy with the dual webs, or kind of what's called ignoring the shield bonus that we get and then just going straight for the armor. But the range control is really nice. The only thing it really suffers against is kiters like this. It was unfortunate, sad to fight against a Tristan, and the Slicer seen opportunity, came in, was able to pull range, which sucked. I was trying to do weird slingshot things, trying to catch him, but it's just no avail. It's very hard to do something like that in this Harpy. I am using a, what do you call it, a poly, and with a rig sword jelly, it's actually not too bad. But just the base speed of AS is pretty low now. I think they received a 10% speed nerf not too long ago. And the Harpy, even before then, was really slow, man. I do end up getting dual webs on him, but just because I've come back, I believe it's come back, the scram I have in this, that's slowly reaching out to 9k, I don't get the scram, so that kind of sucks. But I'm just trying to line out, do the occasional little slingshot, just trying to get away from this Slicer, which isn't quite happening, unfortunately. And yeah, we do end up going down. But GF, let's do this, guys. Okay, this is a little fight against RD Thrasher, I believe, so I orbit him 500 here. Even if he's autos, I'd probably orbit 500. He misses these shots, and you'll see how quickly this Thrasher ends up going down, because we were rocking about 400 DPS in this Harpy. I think it's like 390, which is insane, by the way, and since we're able to apply most of that damage, that Thrasher goes down in short time. The only reason we're getting 400 DPS is I'm using Pyro Dose 2 for that extra 5% DPS, and 3% damage implants, which is the only implants we're using with this Harpy. So all in all, pretty cheap setup, and it's pretty gnarly, man. It's a little fight against the Enyo. I was going to initially void him down, then probably throw out the fight, switch to null, and then pull my range. But it seemed to be a rail Enyo, so I just orbit him 1k here, have antimatter loaded, get underneath his guns, and I'm still applying pretty well. So at this point, he's kind of in a bad spot. The only thing that's really applying is his drone. He is getting an occasional little hit with his rails, but that's not too much of a concern. It's my resist and his well, my resists are good against blasters or hybrids, and so is his. But so I don't really need to worry too much about that incoming damage. This is against an Algos, and I don't know what this Algos did. I don't take much damage in this fight. Now that I look at it, I don't think he popped his drones. Oh no, he does, but it takes him a while to do. So you'll just see the amount of DPS, and us ripping through this Algos, man. At like 400 DPS, I think people don't expect that in a Harpy, and I was surprised actually how much DPS this actually puts out. It's awesome, man. You just like shred stuff, man. Since you have the range control, you're mostly always going to be in void or anti-range, which is sweet. Okay, this is really satisfying where the range control comes into play. I started the fight initially with null, just in case maybe this is dual web dram, or he's like really speedy, and he's able to pull range from us. Because even with null, I believe we're hitting like 260 to 270 DPS out to 11k fall off and 7k optimal. So even scram kiters you can still sort of apply to, but since I see he has one web, and I'm able to range control here, I switch to, I believe it's either Void or Antimatter. And this is a dual A-type rep Dramiel. So you see, once we get into our optimal range and we start DPS him down, he just can't handle it! And he goes down. But yeah, it's a really nice little fight there. You'll see that our tank isn't actually too sturdy once we get into the armor buffer, because we don't actually have a lot of armor buffer. And we aren't actually all that tanky, we're just really relying on DPS for these fights. The small anti just an added little bonus here, man. We also have the assault damage control to rock. So this against a wolf. I keep him at 3k, got void on the go, and just nuke him. He's got his assault damage control on the go. I'm still going to keep void heated though, just because we have a lot of heat to go through. Now once his assault damage control wears off, I activate Minx. You'll see that he's just chunking through my armor buffer, because he was actually using hail there, which is pretty gnarly. So this is against a Corax, which is a Corax that I usually fly, AB adaptive medium shield extender. But the only thing that he does wrong this fight is Molnir Rage missiles here. We've done a lot better with the faction missiles or explosive. That's really the kind of damage types you want to be shooting at a Harpy. So you're explosive or it's called EM. But rage missiles without web aren't going to apply. Even with one web, they probably wouldn't have applied fully. Just really banking on using faction missiles here as opposed to rage. That's kind of really what hurt him here. You see that he does actually a good bit of DPS to his, but he's just not applying fully. Like 117, 115, that's not a lot what's called damage there, and I'm fairly certain that's not applying nearly fully. But nevertheless, nice fight against that Korax, and good to see your Berter back in the game. He was taking he said he was quitting, but I'm glad that he's back. Dragoon, that's gonna be super spicy, and the fight really is determined by how much newts the Dragoon's using. And I can't remember, he's using one newt, thankfully. If he was like a full newt Dragoon, or using 2 to 3 newts, this would be a completely different fight. I split my guns here, expecting to be newted down and potentially using the NOS to activate those 2 stacks. I thought that's a wise play, but thankfully he doesn't have enough newt pressure to really, you know, push me. Like, if I'm not having to run my small ANSI as well, is really good. It does force me to do so at one point. No, I still got my solid damage control on the go. I cracked that open. We still win it. GF Dragon. Okay, speaking of newts, this is actually a full new algo, so I actually end up running, but just to show you how oppressive newts are to this fit. What I could have done actually, I wasn't thinking at the time. I could have pulled my range out of 7.5k to 8k and used null. I was totally not thinking that at the time. I was just like, oh god, panic stations, just get out, basically. So, thankfully just to the NOS, and we have enough cap to run our webs and AB and stuff, so we're able to line out and warp off. Because, like I mentioned, the fuel new Dragoon would just toast us, man. That's an algo, so it's unbonus 2 newts. Ishkar, keep him at 3.5k, void him down. The thing about, Galante and Koldari, T2 resistors are really good against blasters and like hybrids. So these fights can be kind of interesting. Like I can tank a lot of his DPS. Ishkar could potentially be using like acolytes or warriors to get better damage on top of me. But he doesn't. That was a nice little fight there. This gets a hawk. I wouldn't really recommend fighting a hawk, but since you have the dual webs, you're able to disengage if you don't like the look of things. Hawks are really hard to kill 1v1, I find. Especially if it's like cap injected, like Dead Space, medium shield booster. But I believe this one might have been ANSI. I was curious to see a scram here. I was expecting a web as well. Looking at his fit and Z-kill after the fact, it was dual medium ANSI with dual prop, which is quite an interesting little fit. I wasn't really counting how much charge he used there. Perhaps we could were closer to what I thought we were, and maybe shouldn't have ran there. Maybe we're closer than what I thought. So that's against a Jag. I know this pilot, I kind of expect what's coming, but I was hoping I was able to kill him before the Thrashers arrived and stuff. I should have really disengaged. He has a scram here, probably, maybe an AB. I should be able to dip easy. That's a great thing about you with it. It says you have range control. And there's a blob, so I'm going to die very shortly. I really value this Jag kill, but unfortunately I don't get it and we go down. I should have activated assault damage control, but yeah. So since we're on Mac, I always get great fights off of these blokes. It's like, alright, let's bring out a Typhoon. I was thinking they only had 1 ram Jag. That was in my like thought process, not 2. And yeah, I was keen to like do a bit of kiting here. See off their Thrashers. I can new out the Jag. Everything will be fine, boys. So MWD away. The Jag's pretty much on top of me. Nice. He did see me warp from Citadel, so he made the wise play and just warped after me. I warped to 70. It's like right on top of me. But I can new out him, I'm thinking. The other Jag's like fastly approaching, and then I'm just waiting for the Thrasher blob. I'm hoping to take a couple of these guys down with me. I was really wanting a tanker battleship to come fight these guys against, but unfortunately I didn't have anything that's just like a straight brawling ship and ammo at the moment, so I had this kiting Typhoon. So I thought, why not give it a bash? And we have Inferno loaded. You know, that's probably not the best ammo to be shooting against a Jaguar. But I'm doing so anyway. And I'm not doing weird things with my drones. I'm panicking. As the Thrasher fleet arrives, which is a really nice fleet to fight. It's just unfortunate I wasn't in something a bit more sturdy. And the fact that we're in a kiting ship and we got tackled by like Jags and stuff isn't really great for us. But I'm hoping to take some of these Thrashers down with us. Maybe some in the the frigates or something. Just like take something down with me. It's real unfortunate I forgot to ensure this Typhoon as well. But Thrasher's fastly approaching. I'm going to kill one of these guys at least. If I can take one of these guys down with me, I call that a win, okay? So we get one of them. The the Thrashers are pretty much on me at this point. I believe they're all already fit. And I may have started my rep too late. Maybe I should have heated that, but no, we're going down hard, man. And yeah, we don't take anyone else anymore down. But GF to those guys. I was getting pretty face off those guys, and like they were saying in local, happy Easter to them as well. So in our last fight for today, a little Harpy versus 3 dudes, and I love the fact that it sent the Venture first. Seems like a weird tackle Venture of a Newton Os. And Scram, but we make very quick work of him. Looking to just nuke this Rifter afterwards too. Keep him at 3.5k here. That's usually strat. Void. Nuke him. And the Kestrel comes in as well, which is could be a struggle. If it was a dual web one, pulls himself out to far fall off. But even if not, like I said, we're heading out to 11k, so I'm fairly confident I can force off the Kestrel or kill it. If it starts scram kiting. But you see, we are nuking through this Rifter. He's actually quite well tanked. I think it was a 400 plate, small ANSI Rifter, which is nice. And then since we have dual webs, we're sort of able to keep up this Kestrel. And yeah, basically 3.5k, void him down. I was expecting him to maybe pull range a bit more. He does seem to be, actually. He might be even faster than us a little bit. But even with the sort of fall off range of void we got here, we're still, yeah, applying. We take it. So GF to those guys. Okay, guys, that's yeah, that's all the content really got in the past couple days. Some nice stuff there. Really digging that Harpy, actually. I think that'll be the next guide we do in the channel. I just need to get some good footage for said guide, man. It's like cheap AF, does well. Like 400 DPS really applied. It's really sweet AF, man. It's good fun, actually. But yeah, we've had some bad luck, some good luck in this video. So do enjoy your Easter, or at least try to, man. I know we can't really be going outside and stuff because it's weird, you know, Corona thing. But do take care. Try and enjoy your Easter at least, and I'll try and enjoy mine. I will stop mumbling, and yeah, let you enjoy the rest of your weekend, boys. Do be chill and all this, and yeah, do take care.